Doctors of Reddit. What health trend is becoming so common that it's starting to scare you? One doctor answered, influencer medicine. People will ignore years of scientific research, but then trust a random influencer who says, I'm obsessed with this supplement. My skin has never been better. Use my discount code below. The strange part? Doctors often struggle to convince people using massive studies involving thousands of participants. Yet, one viral TikTok from a stranger can change someone's mind instantly. Psychologists have known this for decades. Humans are naturally drawn to stories and personal experiences. A single emotional anecdote often feels more convincing than cold statistics. The problem is that confidence isn't the same thing as expertise. Just because someone sounds certain doesn't mean they're right. And many influencers have a financial incentive to sell products. Science isn't a belief system. It's a process. Ideas are tested, questioned, repeated, and challenged again and again. The worrying trend isn't just bad health advice. It's people losing trust in the scientific process itself. And that's something many doctors find genuinely scary. What do you think? My mom is becoming an absolute Karen, and I don't know what to do anymore. For context, my dad passed away about 7 years ago. Since then, my mom has been living alone. And I think the loneliness is starting to get to her. Lately, she complains about absolutely everything. Every conversation turns into an argument. Whether it's a cashier, a neighbor, or a stranger, she always seems angry at someone. But recently, it's gotten worse. One of our neighbors is louder than usual. They're definitely annoying. But my mom has become completely obsessed with them. She's constantly watching what they're doing, recording them from her house, keeping track of every little thing, and threatening to call the police. Don't get me wrong. The neighbors are loud, and honestly, they're kind of jerks. But this doesn't feel normal anymore. I've tried talking to her. I've suggested seeing a psychologist. But she immediately shuts the idea down. She refuses to even consider it. At this point, being around her is exhausting. I love my mom, but I barely recognize the person she's becoming. I don't know if it's grief, loneliness, depression, or something else entirely, but I genuinely don't know what to do anymore. Any idea? I thought my girlfriend was cheating. Then I unlocked her secret phone and instantly regretted it. I thought my girlfriend was cheating. And honestly, anyone in my position would have thought the same. We've been together for 3 years. No major arguments, no trust issues, nothing. Then one night, I woke up at around 2 a.m. and noticed she wasn't in bed. I walked downstairs and found her sitting in the kitchen. The weird part wasn't that she was awake. The weird part was that she was using a phone I'd never seen before. The second she noticed me, she locked it and shoved it into her pocket. My stomach dropped. I asked, "What's that?" She laughed and said it was nothing. Nothing? Who has a secret phone and calls it nothing? For the next week, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Every time she left the room, I wondered who she was texting. Every time she smiled at her screen, I felt sick. Then I noticed something else. She started taking calls outside. She'd leave the house, talk for 10 minutes, come back in, and act like nothing happened. At that point, I was convinced. She was cheating. I even started planning how I was going to break up with her. Then came the moment that changed everything. She left the second phone on the couch. Unlocked. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I did. And what I found made me feel like the worst person alive. The phone wasn't filled with messages from another guy. There were no dating apps, no secret conversations, no affair. Instead, there were hundreds of notes. Photos, documents, receipts, medical information. Turns out she had been secretly planning a fundraiser. Not for herself, for my younger brother. My brother has a medical condition that requires expensive treatment. And she'd spent months organizing donations behind my back because she knew I'd never accept help if she told me. The late-night phone calls, hospitals, the secret messages, charities, the second phone, a work phone she bought specifically to organize everything without me finding out. And then I found one note. It simply said, "I hope this helps him get the life he deserves." I sat there staring at the screen, feeling absolutely horrible. A week later, she surprised my entire family. The fundraiser raised over $20,000. Everyone cried. including me. I never told her I looked through the phone. But every now and then I remember how convinced I was that she was cheating, when in reality, she was trying to change someone's life. My boyfriend, who's 24, and I have been together for 5 months, and we only recently made things official. A few days ago, we were talking about deal breakers in relationships. For both of us, cheating was at the top of the list. When we started explaining why, my boyfriend said he would never cheat because he loves me and wouldn't want to hurt me. When it was my turn, I said, I'm not a cheater. It goes against my ethics. For some context, I've been cheated on before. I even gave one ex a second chance after he begged me to take him back. And it turned out to be one of the worst decisions I've ever made because he kept cheating. Because of that experience, I see cheating as a choice. If someone cheats on me, the relationship is over immediately. I don't believe in revenge cheating either. After I explained this, my boyfriend looked surprised and said, "That's it?" I asked what he meant. And he said, "You didn't mention anything about me." I told him, "Of course I love you, but honestly, if I were dating someone else, my answer would be exactly the same. When I choose to be with someone, I don't look elsewhere. That's just who I am." He said, "All right." But after that, he started sulking and has been a little distant ever since. Now, I get the feeling he expected me to say, I stay faithful specifically because I love him. But personally, I think loyalty should come from values and character, not just feelings. I'd rather date someone who doesn't cheat because they believe it's wrong than someone who only stays faithful because they're currently in love. So, am I the jerk?